Welcome to Left Brain, Right Brain podcast online worldwide.
First time ever.
First time ever. We got Left Brain here who forgot his cue.
Yeah, I'm left brain.
He literally said before that he didn't need a cue or any practice, and he just fucking froze.
Just sits there,
I was
stony
waiting.
faced.
I wasn't.
Yeah, and I'm whatever the fuck it is, left brain or right brain, but that doesn't matter because we're here with Molly. Molly, how do I pronounce the actual Instagram? Ginklet?
Ginklet.
Oh, see, dude, I would have fucked it up.
No, it's not. It's
Ginklet is
Ginklet.
French.
Ginklet?
Is it Ginklet?
Yeah, it's Ginklet.
Ginklet. We're here with Ginklet, multidisciplinary artist, specializing in ceramics. Would that be correct?
Yeah, pretty much entirely ceramics these days.
Yeah.
I started out like just drawing, and then the characters I was drawing, I decided to make into like physical beings with ceramics.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much all I do now. It's the thing that sells the best. So
Yeah, well, they're very
Pick it up.
eye-catching and they're hyper-stylized, and they have like a fantasy element going on. I'm sure that's, that there's something to do with that. Where do you draw inspiration from?
It's pretty much like, I don't know how old you guys are, but like I grew up
Too old.
in the 90s, like early 2000s.
Yeah, I'm 96. I'm a 96 baby.
I'm 95.
Yeah, oh,
Okay.
you win.
Yeah.
He's
the
young
TV
though. He's my
shows-
young protege.
How old are you?
Are you,
14.
he's 2004?
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude,
I'm
get
an
away
old-
from
I'm
Oh,
an
damn,
old
you're
soul,
young.
He gets younger with every episode. Sorry, go on.
Drinking from the fountain of youth. No.
Yeah, the orange juice of youth.
It's pretty much from the TV shows like that we grew up with, really. Like
Yeah,
Are Real Monsters. I don't know if you remember that
of
show.
course. Yeah.
Yeah, Cat Dog, all those kind of, the aesthetic of those TV shows are always loved, and it's quite nostalgic of a style.
Yeah.
And so they're kind of, like drawn from that era of cartoons. And then I obviously try to put my own spin on it. And each piece is like, I guess, a combination of those cartoons. Like I went to Japan recently and seeing the Oni mask, or Oni, I don't know how you pronounce it properly, but yeah, drawing inspiration from that. But it's mostly like the nostalgia of the cartoons that we grew up with, that style.
Yeah, for sure. I also see I always forget how to pronounce his name because I get him mixed up with Daniel Johns, but Daniel Johnston kind of vibe to it as well, like old school cartoons. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah. Like he did like the comics.
Yeah, it's like outside of music, like really outside of music.
I know the musician. Are you talking about?
Talking about the other guy. Yeah, that's why I always
The other
get him
guy.
mixed up. Never mind. But it is cool,
Yeah.
because I think a lot of people, do you feel like a lot of people that follow you are aware of those influences? Because when I saw it, I was like, I can see, now that you said Real Monsters, I can see that because I'm 28.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of them
Yeah.
might be like thinking that you're pulling your inspiration from like other, mythical fantasy.
Yeah, I mean,
vibes, but you're-
like goblins are my go-to. Like
Yeah.
that's kind of like what my main gig was for ages, was just like goblin-y looking things.
Yeah.
But a lot of like, I get so many comments from people, more so on TikTok for some reason, but everyone thinks that I'm making Adventure Time characters.
Yeah, everything seems
And
to
I
get
like-
compared to Adventure Time now.
Yeah,
But even
yeah,
our
I like
artists,
Adventure
like-
Time, but it's a
Yeah.
bit more. I didn't grow up with Adventure Time,
No.
I've watched that
Is there
as
any
an
chance
adult.
you have something you can show people, maybe if they're not aware of what we're talking about?
Some
Yeah, do you have
pieces.
anything in the studio?
Yeah. Is there
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
to show?
My bedroom. My bedroom is my studio, which is
Oh,
really.
so you work in
grim.
the same. We had a chat with an artist yesterday, and he was like, he never works where he sleeps because he doesn't know.
Yeah,
He wouldn't know how to like regulate that. You know what I mean? But it's
It's
cool that you
so-
found.
no, I hate it.
Oh, really?
Like, it's not good.
So it's not by
like I pretty
choice.
much
Yeah.
no. Like I did have a studio for a while in Brunswick, but then I thought I can technically do it in my room, so I'll save that little bit of rent.
Mm.
But mentally, it's been like pretty challenging. Like sometimes I'll spend days where I don't actually leave this room. Like I'll get up, work, and then just lay down over there.
Yeah, that's what I
Like,
was saying. Is like
my
there's
day.
no separation between the dreamland and the real life, and you just kind of there.
I think next year I'll be getting a studio for sure.
Do you find though that
Yeah.
because you are like, I don't mean to make this about like your bed basically being in the studio, but do you find that because you're like, I guess you can go to sleep and kind of wake up and like access like cool
It's
dreams and
right
stuff like
there.
that? Does that go back into the work in like an endless sort of
Yeah,
cycle?
there's definitely like an upside to it in that there's no like, if I have inspiration or an idea,
Yeah.
I'm right here. I don't have to travel anywhere to work. And so that's good, but the downside overrides that. Like I just get very
Yeah.
cabin fevered. And just sometimes I'll go days without socializing as well. Like I'm not amongst anyone except for the friends I see through the
Yeah.
week. So, but I'll grab you some pieces to show.
Yeah, for sure. I'll just drink this orange juice and
I'll
have
be
a bit
back.
of a snack.
You talking about the orange juice?
I love it, bro. It's fucking awesome. That's how you know you've made it as an artist. If you can just treat yourself to some like some
You
OJ.
gotta live life.
You gotta live life somehow.
That setup is way more fancy than ours, though, I have to say.
It's awesome. That as well, all the way over there in the back. That's awesome. Like the alien thing. Oh
So
damn.
these are,
Those are
I'll grab
sick.
some smaller pieces in a second. These were
Yeah.
just on the mantle. But so
Damn.
that's, I don't know, I can't see my camera, so I'm not sure if that's super
You might have to
obvious.
position it where you're positioned. Yeah, now we see it. Now we're cooking. Yeah.
That's sick.
It's quite,
Very
it's a
cool.
bit washed out.
Is there a with that one specifically, is there a like Gustav Klimt, the Kiss vibe going on with that particular model? Do you know what I'm talking about? You know that famous
No.
painting? And it has that like the chrome like gold and black and it's the couple it's
Oh,
like
yeah. I do. Yeah.
Yes.
Nah, there's definitely similarities, but this was actually a piece I did in collaboration from an artist from where I'm from in Warrnambool.
Oh,
So
you're from
he
Audible.
actually glazed the outside of it and I
Cool.
made the piece and the face. He is Liam Murphy. And then this guy,
That's sick.
it's a bit washed out as well. Might turn the lamp.
They're big.
They're big, yeah. Nearly mask sized.
Yeah, like head size.
Yeah, they vary. So I'll get like a couple of smaller pieces as well.
That's awesome. Being able to bring like 2D, because you started with 2D, right? And then you made it 3D.
Yeah, just drawing stuff like that.
That's fucking awesome.
That's
But
That's
actually,
so
I
cool.
don't have too many pieces here at the moment because I was away for pretty much a month and a half. I just kind of tried to sell everything I had before the trip, and I'm in the process of now making a new body of work.
Yeah.
So
How long
yeah.
does it take to create like a big piece or a small piece, would you say? Time frame?
So hand building a piece this size probably takes about 3 hours, and then the whole process from start to having the ceramic in your hand finished is about a month. But that's
Yeah.
a lot of waiting time for the piece to dry out completely. And then it goes into a bisque firing, which kind of like primes the like ceramic body to be glazed. And then I glaze it, and then it goes into a second firing,
Yeah.
and then it's finished. So it's a really lengthy process, which is annoying, but
Yeah. But also quite gratifying, right? Because
yeah,
these take time.
opening the
so-
kiln at the end, it's like
Yeah,
very
yeah, yeah,
exciting.
yeah. And when you
Yeah.
see it, it's the product of that hard work, you know? A lot of
Yeah.
stuff with drawing, it's very, you put years, like the Picasso thing that came up where he like drew someone's portrait on a napkin and he sold it to them for like, he wanted to sell to them
Yeah.
for like $1 million and they're like, what the hell? You just drew that? But it took years
I
to
wish
get
I could
there.
do that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wish I could fucking just sell my dirty
Draw on a
napkins as
napkin
well.
and
That's the artist's dream.
Make bank.
Yeah, but like, you know, when you're doing 2D stuff, it is kind of hard to get that complete kind of feeling. And with any kind of
Yeah.
art, right? Like you
Yeah.
don't know when to stop. Whereas you do
Yeah.
know when to stop. It's literally
Yeah,
right there.
yeah.
Because you could
Yeah,
try to
and I
add
think-
stuff to it, but that's accessories, right? Like
Yeah. And I think I'm attracted to ceramics because it's there's something that feels kind of like fine artish about ceramics.
Yeah.
Like I've worked with polymer clay and that's great, but there's something about, I don't know, like the feeling of ceramics, like it's a solid piece and it's gone
Yeah.
through such a lengthy process. It is the fact that it's not a sudden thing. It's like a very long process to get to the end product, and it's this tactile object.
Yeah.
It's just, it's a good
And you're
medium.
like displaying facets of your personality months at a time, right?
Yeah.
Like that one that we're looking at there, that could have been 2 months of you, I don't know, last year.
Yeah, I was
something like that. It
really
has
grumpy in this period.
all the emotions, all the vibe.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself in the works?
Fuck, I hope not.
I know that's a
They're kinda
crazy thing to
ugly.
say.
You see what she showed us, like devils and stuff.
No, I understand. But some people, they use all that kind of stuff to kind of just like create a fabrication. Like, I'm not
Yeah,
saying you
I
look
think
like that. That's crazy.
It's I think it's more like again, going back to like the inspiration of like the nostalgia of cartoons when we were growing up.
Yeah.
It's kind of like embodying, I guess, the nostalgia of being a child as well. Like, it's just really fun, silly kind of art.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that's me, colorful, quirky
Yeah.
kind of, I guess. Like, that's my personality kind of like in them.
Are they
versus the
all
actual
individual piece
faces.
uniques, or do you make like duplicate copies, like a batch?
I don't make molds. I wish that I did, because it would be so much easier to just like make a piece and then continually pour that piece and make maybe like a limited run of 10 of those pieces. It would be much quicker. But yeah, they're all handmade from the start. And that's not because I'm like, that's literally just because I don't know how to make a mold. Like,
Oh, really? So there's
I
no
wish I
like
could.
ideology to doing one-offs or
Nah.
anything like that.
Yeah.
That would have been
Nah.
cool though. I mean,
Yeah.
like subliminally or like subconsciously, there is a certain kind of allure that only one exists. So
Yeah.
it is working to
Yeah.
your
When
favor.
people hear it's like a one-off piece, I think
course.
that's it's people are more inclined to spend more money on a one-off piece.
Yeah.
But then again, the thing I like with like cast making and making molds is I really like toy art, and when they have like a limited run of 20 toys, like oh damn, I've
You would have
packed it
seen
away.
that in Japan, right? I've spoken to you about some of those like collector items once before. Like I don't know what the toy store is called. I think it's in Shibuya.
What's that?
There's like the toy store that has all the Godzilla, like every single Godzilla character ever and stuff like that. Yeah.
I had a really cool toy from a Japanese artist here, but I've packed it in a box somewhere.
Yeah, no, that'll definitely take up all of our Zoom interview time if we just have you go
I'm slowly unpacking a box. But he makes like a run of 30 toys, and then that's it. And I like that idea.
Would you ever consider, like, you've been to Japan a bunch of times.
That was my third time.
So you're like a connoisseur, basically. I've only been twice, so you win there as well. Do you find that, would you ever like approach like either an art dealer over there to display them there? Because I feel like it'll just go off, right? It translates quite well to the culture there.
Yeah, I feel like it would be like art that would appeal to Japanese people, but I don't have the balls to like approach people and say
just like
hey.
dump your ceramic on the table and be like, check it out.
Take this.
Here it is.
Take this. This is the culture now.
I'm not very good at like putting myself out there and approaching. Like, I've done a couple of exhibitions here in Melbourne, but that was kind of that I was asked to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really should. Like, I just sell my work online, and that's kind of what I stick to. But I would love to have stuff physically in stores, especially in Japan. That would be great.
That's the dream, really, for any type of creator. I feel like you've made it when you can get your stuff in Japan, especially
when you've got a ceramic in a shop in Japan.
Incredible, yeah. And some other tourist from Australia buys it. That's the goal.
So how do you release it online? Is it just like every week you release a special piece, or
it varies. Like, it's depending on how much work I've like managed to make, and again with how long the process is. So these 11 pieces that I've made here on the shelf, I've now got to wait 3 weeks for them to dry. And so it's usually I'll do a drop maybe once a month these days. Just
Does it sell
because
out
it's
fast
like,
when you do a drop?
sorry.
Does it sell out fast?
It sells out in a couple of weeks. It used to be much quicker when I first started, which was 3 years ago. Things would sell out within a couple of days.
Yeah, right.
But that's kind of a symptom of upping my prices, I think. Like they're just
Right.
I'm trying to like up the price, and I think I've reached a point now where I can see that this is the price I should stick at.
Yeah.
As well, because I want them to be accessible for people. I don't want them like insanely expensive, but
Which
I
is
still
hard
it's
still
my
to
living.
do, right? Because your things, your art takes so long to make.
Yeah.
You really have to
If
back
I
yourself.
tried to figure out an hourly rate, like
Yeah.
it probably wouldn't be that great.
Imagine if
So I don't even
artists
like.
did that.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Well, how would you say that your sort of style has changed from Ginklet year one to now?
To be honest, it's like so I've got one of the pieces I first made like probably 5 years ago.
Oh yeah.
And you'll see that it's not really that different from what I make now.
Well, we'll be the judge of that.
So
No, but there is a difference. I don't mean to be like an art snob and be like, oh, you can't see your own piece, but
no, it's very different.
but I mean, like looking at just like stylistically, maybe even content wise, like that.
I think the finish is different.
The finish is different. The
yeah,
genre.
I mean, this is I
like,
can
is
see
that
that
a
my
clown? Looks like a clown beetle.
it's actually like funnily enough, this was inspired by my first trip to Japan.
Oh,
Kind of like their like like their straight fringe haircuts kind of deal.
That's cool.
Yeah, but
That's
I think
actually awesome.
yeah, the main thing that's changed, I guess, is thankfully that my skills have been more refined. Like when I see old pieces, it's still my distinct style, but I've just got a little bit better at doing it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What I do want to know, like, what are some of your influences? Like, do you have any art house movie influences, horror movie influences that go into these pieces?
Not so much movies. It's pretty much just kind of again like those 90s cartoons. It's not
So
so
they're a
much movies.
strong influence for you.
Yeah. So not so much movies, no. Yeah.
That's cool though.
Mm.
I saw you've done collaborations with, like, for example, Alien Nose Job.
Oh yeah.
Was that a piece that was pre-existing beforehand, or was it made specifically for that record?
No, so he approached me and he wanted a really disgusting looking piece. And he actually I can't think of the movie he sent me. You guys might know. It's like a scene where there's like this gross baby coming out of the stomach of someone.
Not like, we're not talking Alien. I'm sure.
I was thinking Alien.
Nah, it's too basic.
I would know that.
Dude, I know this guy wouldn't come in there and be like, yeah, this basic.
Nah, God, I wish I could remember. But there's this scene where, this baby is like spewing out of this stomach, and it's like really cool prosthetic effects. And it has this like weird muscular arm coming off it. And so that piece has this gross random arm coming out of the side. It's got like a mouth up on its forehead and just like foul features. And that's pretty much what he wanted.
So
I made that for him.
He wanted that, and he found that piece basically through your kind of catalog.
Well, I'd made it for him. That was a custom
piece. So it was a direct commission. Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
Right. That's so
the
cool.
stars would have aligned for him if he's like, I want this really niche piece. She has it, luckily.
Well, a lot of artists, I've found a lot of musicians rather make a lot of compromises, with their stuff.
Yeah.
Like they'll be like, well, I guess I can't create that particular medium, but they've already created all the stuff, and rather than asking them to make it to birth it, basically. And I appreciate the hustle.
Good. Yeah, it was good. Like, getting like when I have a commission that kind of challenges me to make something slightly different to my usual, that's kind of exciting because I do get very set in my ways a little bit. Like I as I said, like I've been making this kind of stuff in this style since the beginning. And so when I get a commission that's asking me to do something a little bit different, still within my realm of that kind of aesthetic, but slightly different, it's good because it kind of challenges me to try something else, because I kind of stick to the same general characters.
Do you find that when people commission you that you kind of go down a rabbit hole of their influences for that time period? Do you kind of become immersed in that world, or?
It's more that I just make sure, like I'll ask them exactly what they want. I'll do a quick sketch of it. And if before I start the actual physical piece, because it's so much work, we'll sketch out what they want until they're happy. And then I start. So that's the process.
Yeah. Do you find that you like, what are some of your rituals, your artist rituals, like before making a piece?
Literally none. Like I'll sit down and just start making. There's not even any, like I don't really do too much planning before each piece if it's not a commission. I'll just start and I kind of let the sculpture guide me. Like I'll do certain eyes, and then that will invite me to make a mouth that would suit kind of like, if they're more angry eyes, I'll do a more grisly kind of mouth, like these sort of like the tusks on this one. I really like there's like angrier versions, and then there's like, I guess, happier versions I make, but I never plan the outcome. It just kind of unfolds as I go, usually.
Do you feel like if you planned it would be less fun?
If I plan them, they'd probably be better, I reckon.
Yeah, but the question still remains.
If I should do it. Like I know so many artists that like a lot of their process is like meditating on how it's going to end up and playing around with ideas, sketching them out. I don't really do any of that. I just kind of see where the sculpture takes me each time, unless it's a commission.
Yeah, the way you described making the actual, like, I guess, ceramics reminds me of the way that I actually do my artworks as well, because I start with a blank page and then like an ink brush marker, and then I'll do the eyes, and then the eyes dictate the size of the head, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, if I had like a stencil of my, because I just do my face over and over again and shit like that, but if I just had a stencil of my face, it'd be boring as fuck, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's kind of nice to let the sculpture do the talking in a way, like as you make, because I think the other thing that I can get quite tied up in when I started ceramics, when I used to do planning before a piece, is if I get locked in on the end product, how I want it to be, and it doesn't end up like that, I can get quite like pissed off with myself. And if you don't have an end product and you see where it leads, it's always kind of fun seeing how it ends up, and you really can't go wrong.
Yeah, because if you have expectation about something, I mean, with anything, it doesn't have to be art. You'll end up disappointed on some level.
Yeah, you
when
can
art
apply
surprises you, like when you can surprise yourself, that's what it's all about, right?
Yeah, and that applies to life in general, I feel like, like expecting these like solid outcomes in the future, can be really disheartening when things don't end up like that, and they usually don't.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just that ethos of going with the flow.
Does anyone like teach? This is like not so much related to you, but just a general question I'm asking, maybe even John here. Like, does anyone teach how to like not expect from life? Like, does anyone like, how do you unlearn expectation? Yeah, I guess, but like, I guess, but that's after the fact. I'm wondering, like, beforehand, like, how do you
go to therapy after you haven't got your outcome?
Yeah, pre-therapy. It's like that's a good education, right? Which I don't think many of us have.
I think it's as you get older, like as the years roll on, I feel like you kind of learn that things are not necessarily going to be this vision that you had. Like, I'm sure that when everyone was 18, you expect your life is maybe going to be like this at 30. And usually you look around and things aren't like that, but life's still great.
Yeah,
it's kind of
sometimes life kind of buries that too. Like you might not expect that that's how you, like, I don't know, say you wanted to be a specific type of person, maybe like a rock star and stuff like that. You might not have the fan base that you wanted. You might not have luxury car that you wanted, but you can still be practicing it and if you can kind of
Yeah.
see like how far you've come rather than sort of the finish
Yeah.
line,
Yeah.
then
Yeah,
it,
for
it makes
sure.
things a lot easier to enjoy, especially with
Yeah.
art, because I think everyone's so now everyone's like trying to like make their art a business and just like burning out and stuff like that. And it's just like
I think the important thing, especially now that this has become my like whole job, is kind of remembering that you make for you. Like you at the start of creating, like years ago, I did that just for the joy of it. And so I think even if you're not a successful artist, you've still won if you're creating and it brings you joy. And
yeah,
like the fact that this is now tied to my income has been kind of like a double-edged sword in a way, because I still like make because it brings joy, but it's like it's completely interlocked with my income. And so now
yeah,
it's kind of like the days I don't feel like making, it's like this huge chore. And sometimes I kind of resent it, which is like
yeah.
really depressing because it used to make me really happy. So those periods are very confusing, if that
Just
makes
for
any sense.
curiosity, how much are we talking for each sculpture? Is it different price ranges for the sizes, or how does it work with you?
Yeah, so it depends on the size, and how long it took to make, which, obviously the bigger pieces are the longest to make. So something, again, like this guy, I don't know how visible he is, but you can see how
Big boy.
large
Yeah,
he
it's
is.
humongous.
I would charge probably around 500 for him. And then this little guy would be around 250, 300 roughly.
Yeah, which is great.
I
Like,
thought
which
it would
is
be more, to be honest.
yeah.
It's handmade, piece you need.
Yeah, well, it's like that balancing act of if I ask for too much, it
Yeah.
just doesn't sell. Hopefully one day I'll get to the point where I can ask for those slightly bigger figures, but for now, like I've tested the waters and that seems to be kind of like the point I'm at. Because I would love to ask for 1,000 for this big guy, but if he doesn't sell, I've made no money
Well,
at
if
all.
there's anyone out there that's got a bit of cash on him and likes what they see,
buy this sculpture.
hit our line, or hit their line.
Because you guys talk about Japanese toys and stuff. There's like Cars dolls, which are like made of plastic. And they sell for thousands and
The
thousands of
Japanese
dollars.
market, yeah.
Don't get me. I know. I know.
But you think like a ceramic handmade, piece would sell for a lot more than that, right? It's
Yeah. Hopefully one day. It's like I'm still very thankful that I am selling anything for $500. Like, 15-year-old me would have been blown away that I was selling anything for 500.
for sure.
But yeah, and it's kind of invited me to create smaller pieces more often as well.
Yeah,
because making the bigger pieces, they're just a little bit more difficult to sell.
You should put all the prices at ridiculous numbers and then release ones that are very achievable, and people will be like, "Oh, that's a steal," and they'll buy the.
Make your own market. I don't know what.
And then if one did sell that was insanely expensive, that would be great.
They do that with what's the term for that in like gambling or like stuff where you like create all the buyers and it's just like artificial shit.
It's like framing and
yeah. Okay, hold on. We're gonna take a quick break because Zoom.
We'll do some sit-ups.
Zoom is in control. You do those sit-ups and we'll be back with Ginklet real quick. This potty is sponsored by Bodrigi Beer, a locally focused brewery heavy on all things art and music. This podcast is also sponsored by ThinSlizzy, serving Collingwood and surrounding suburbs the tastiest pizzas since 2020. Head over to thinslizzy.com and see for yourself. Now let's get on with the show. Now we're back with Molly.
All right, just do a quick lap around the block.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We said 5 minutes, but we're pretty speedy with this shit. We're professionals.
No, I got it done.
Excellent.
Actually, in the time that you guys were gone, I did find 2 more pieces.
That's fucking sick. Around. Damn. Yeah, see, I look at that and I see like a gazillion like art house movie influences, but then you just tell me it's our real monsters.
It might be very like subconscious because I do watch like old school horrors with lots of prosthetic effects. I love like
who? Who?
Dead Alive, The Thing, like
Okay,
those
like
kind
John
of like
Carpenter. Yeah, cool.
yeah, Cronenberg.
Yeah,
But
he doesn't know about any of these
The
things.
Thing? I
He
love The Thing.
he doesn't watch movies. He's a
no movies at all.
businessman.
Oh,
Yeah. He only
finance,
watches
bro.
business movies, the ones that come in VHS form, and they play them to like a crowd of 16 people or something.
And I found
Oh, is that another one? Cool.
That
Whoa.
one's big.
so he
That's
actually he
Damn.
broke in the kiln, which was super frustrating.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
So he's really damaged, and the other one I showed you, the tooth broke, so they just permanently reside at my house now.
Yeah. Which again,
Yeah.
no one would people necessarily notice that these specific things.
Oh yeah, that one
Yeah?
is
Okay.
very
So it's like a
broken.
design defect rather than like, oh, he's a little bit self-conscious about his.
Yeah, he's shy. No, that
He's a
one's
bit
very,
shy.
very broken. And like this one, I probably could sell. It's the tooth is chipped off.
Yeah, but you'd have to tell someone that, like, for them to know that's
You
what's
don't think
happening,
they'd
man.
notice?
I mean, you just did, but
Yeah. And the necklace, that is by an artist, Sacred Steel Armor. She makes jewelry with like the traditional like armor techniques.
yeah.
She's really cool, Dan.
I was gonna say, like,
Um,
it's cool because like you have all these like fashion accessories on some of them, and some like none of
Yeah.
them are just naked. You know what I mean? Even if it's just a head, it has like
Haven't
a
got their
collar or
dick out.
something. One
Yeah.
of my questions that I was gonna ask you was like whether or not you ever tested out fashion like fits on these characters, but I
Get 'em
know that
dripped
because
out.
it takes so long to make them that the fashion trend would change.
Well, like again, like how I was talking about how I'm kind of like stuck in my way with my style. I just make heads,
Yeah,
and I've wanted to branch out into making bodies again, like that, like figurine, like kind of muscular body type thing would
Yeah.
be really, really cool.
well,
But
then you go from goblin to orc, right? They're like
yeah, the natural
essence of
progression.
an orc.
You mean
I-
Shrek?
No, I don't mean Shrek. I mean an orc. Like an orc is like a muscular thing, whereas a goblin could just be a head with arms coming out of its fucking ears. And shit.
Yeah,
like that's
like sometimes I make like squatting pieces where they've got their like knees right up to their head, like they're squatting, and that's kind of like a cheat way for me to make the body
yeah.
without having to like actually make the body kind of thing.
Did you
Yeah.
find that you were drawing heads before, or were you drawing heads and bodies, and then the medium made you
Just-
make heads?
Nah, it's never occurred to me until you said that. I have always just drawn heads as well.
Okay.
Like, yeah, just I wish I had more stuff here. I've like packed my room down a little
You've got
bit.
more
in
stuff than
preparation
any
to
other
move.
person has had, so
I got trinkets.
people usually steal my shit. That's how little things that people have. When they come
But
on
no,
the
like
show.
I would literally just draw a head. Do I have any stuff in here? Maybe
on the spot.
like this is one
doodle.
of my drawings of just like I don't know if you can see that.
Oh yeah,
Just
cool.
Oh, nice.
Heads.
That's
But,
awesome. Seeing how it
yeah, I've
goes
never
from
really
that 2D
fucked
to
with
3D.
bodies before.
Yeah.
What's
That's
the,
fucking
what's the
sick.
biggest size piece you've made?
It's probably. Can you see him? It is
That one?
probably
Yeah, because that's huge.
this guy. So I'll put him like against.
That's
My
got to be
head.
over 500, surely.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
If it wasn't broken, like I'll hold him up a bit closer so you can see how damaged he got.
How much is that bad boy going for?
How much would I sell him for?
Yeah,
If
you
I
were.
was
Yeah.
Well, again, I like I can't really put more than so the most expensive piece I've ever sold was 1,200, and that was
Cool.
just like I don't think I'll ever sell a piece for that much again. That was like
Was that
some
to a
really
friend? Was that to a friend?
rich
Or was that
American.
to a-
Nah, some like rich American lady.
Now we're talking.
yeah.
Now we're
Yeah.
talking.
I need to get into the like the Turak mums like
We Turak mums
cohort.
come up on this program at least 3 times an episode. We try to get them on the show, but they decline. They're not really into arts. That's the problem.
well, they're not into this art.
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah, that's
so
the problem.
Unfortunate. The world is so.
Yeah.
But what if you made a Turak mum's face? Do you know what I'm saying? Like something that was just uncanny that they saw themselves in the work. They had to buy it, but everyone else is like, that's just an ogre, but it's just a specific.
It's like a slightly wrinkled woman with like Gucci like glasses on.
They love that shit. Have you? Do you have an agent, or are you self-represented?
I do everything myself.
That's crazy. That's fucking crazy.
Because again, with an agent, like you'd have to pay them, I imagine, wouldn't you?
Agent would take a bit. I mean, I'm also DIY in my music and in my art, and I mean, we're sponsored on this show by Thin Slizzies, and they're fucking awesome.
Hell yeah.
And Bodrigi, I guess, I have to sponsor them too. But yeah, like, you know, DIY is cool. You get more freedom. But like, your pieces, like even I could see your stuff being on the street. I was talking to an artist yesterday, Tom Gerard. I don't know if you've seen his works, and he does these like faces that kind of look like older versions of my face, just everywhere. And once you see one, you see them. He's like they just come up everywhere. And he's even like been thinking about making like installations and stuff like that. It would be so cool to see it, like a giant goblin
I would love like my like dream goal would be to make like huge pieces like that goblin head I just showed you, but they're like as tall as me that like sit in the corner of a room.
That'd be
like
so sick.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know if you guys follow Fluff Fawn on Instagram. He does like felted heads.
Okay, so the medium allows it to do that though, right? Because like yours is like how would you even make
ceramic that big?
A ceramic that big? Is there an? I don't. Like, I'm gonna say oven. I don't know if that's what.
You'd need a really big kiln. Like
a medieval kiln for a medieval.
Some sort of cave with fire.
So we're making the Frankenstein's monster, basically.
Yeah. But no, I would love like one day to make very massive ginklets. Like
that would be so.
They would just look stunning, massive. I reckon. Like but I'm limited to my kiln size.
Even as a commission piece, like I'm sure the city of Geelong or some fucking place in Whoop Whoop, like just as a starting like testing ground, would allow you to do this. I think I've heard a lot of artists talk about how like the councils are quite close-minded in general. So if it's got some edge to it in some way, and yours do,
a little bit too spooky.
They're gonna be like, oh, what about the kids? And shit? You know what I mean? The kids are watching way worse shit than that, but whatever.
Yeah. No, I would love that. But I think, like, again, talking about how I guess wealthier people aren't into this sort of art usually, like, that's not, that's a big, call to make. But generally, my art appeals to people our age who, they just don't have the money to spend on bigger pieces.
Just wait till we get old. Just wait till the Real Monsters generation gets old and gets bank. Yeah, and then you'll be sorted.
No, because on the break we were literally saying like your art. If we went to a museum and we saw like in a glass showcase and it was like 10 grand, we're like, oh yeah.
It justifies it, you know what I mean? Like, it's just that you need to like tap into that specific market. I mean, who the fuck are we? We're just left brain, right brain. Like, what even is this podcast about anymore? I don't know.
I expect to blow up after this podcast.
Yeah. Set your expectations low. That's what we established in the part 1 of this.
Because we talk about Picasso and he's got like, thousands of
well, he's dead pieces. Now, and I don't know what.
That's
I think I gotta die maybe.
Yeah, he died like a few days ago.
But he's got a lot of pottery, his stuff goes for thousands,
so but also justified, right? Your stuff happens to be cool and it's also functional as well. And we spoke about this again on the podcast yesterday with Tom. Like, you can have a vase or whatever, a vase. I'm bilingual. I don't know how to pronounce this shit. And I don't want to know how to pronounce this shit.
I think it's a vase.
But you have a vase and then you try to sell it and it doesn't sell for what you want, but then you chop the bottom end of the vase and you put it as an installation in a gallery and it sells for a gajillion dollars.
It's weird though. The art world is strange like that. It's kind of like it. I feel like I'm in maybe the wrong. I don't know how to elevate my art to get into a different market, but I know that if I could, I think it would sell well. It's just I don't know how to kind of.
But you're exhibiting in galleries, right? Like, I saw you had something in the Bain Art Gallery.
Yeah, so I had a solo exhibition there. That would have been in May this year.
Right.
And that was really good. but I've still got pieces sitting in there. Like it didn't sell out or anything.
Really?
And I
Where is
find
that gallery
that,
located?
That's in Brunswick.
Really?
Yeah.
The Brunswick crowd.
But you would think
What's
Brunswick,
going
Brunswick
on?
crowd.
What the
Doing me
fuck?
dirty.
ideal.
It's because
crowd.
they're all broke as fuck though. Like I used to live in Brunswick East, and we, I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
I've seen your stuff at This Is Not a Toy Store because I used to live around the
Yeah,
corner
that was
from
my
there.
first exhibition ever.
No shit,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm saying. Like
Like
I'd
the
go
upstairs
there,
bit.
and and they're awesome. Like shout out to them. They're fucking incredible. Like
Yeah,
people,
they
incredible
are.
vibes. But
Yeah.
like if you're a broke, whatever, especially if you're a broke artist, so you're somebody who would like, what
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
doing. You go to the store and you're like, fuck. Like I guess I'll buy
It's
the
like-
cheapest thing that they got, right? Like.
I don't know if you guys saw the exhibition at NGV, the banana taped on the wall.
I did see
Yeah,
that,
that
yeah.
was-
Yeah. Like
Crazy.
art like that, a kind of, I don't really get it. Like when art like that gets into really big galleries.
Yeah.
But
Do you feel, I mean, I'd love to live in a world where both, exist. Like I was trying to, but that's the thing is that we have like hyper stylized artists as well, where you can really see what the thing is and what it's trying to achieve. Your stuff also like acts as different things, right? Like you've had candle holders, you've had like all sorts of like things for it as well. And I'd love to see a world where both of those, where the more abstract stuff and the more stylized stuff can kind of coexist. Because because we don't live in that world. We live in arguably a worse world for artists than ever. Community-wise, we're all too disjointed in Melbourne.
Yeah.
So we don't stand too much of a chance by ourselves. So we're not able to focus on that kind of stuff. And like I'd probably make an argument for the banana, whatever, sticky tape to the wall thing if this was like the 60s and 70s, because I love like, a lot of conceptual works. And I was speaking to my dad about Captain Beefheart and shit and trying to convince him about it. It didn't work. But like, I'm all for that shit, but there has to be a balance. There just has to be a balance.
Yeah. I'm definitely not against it, but
and there isn't. So that's
Yeah.
the big problem I have with like the NGV and a lot of those places, is that you just don't see a true, accurate representation of our youth, and we're still young, and we deserve as much of a chance to shine as all the other motherfuckers that came before us. You know what I mean?
And like, I mean, in saying that, I'm definitely not against art like that. It's again what you're saying, where, and I'm not talking about my art as much as like I see so many artists my age that aren't being, I guess, they could be so famous, and it's kind of like, how do you break into that?
Yeah.
And then you go to the NGV and you see a banana on the wall, and it's like, it's kind of frustrating.
It makes you want to rip the banana off.
But,
man.
Yeah, but like the exhibition that, like everything else at the gallery at that time when that was up was incredible. Like NGV certainly just doesn't have that kind of stuff only, but
no, you have other galleries like Outre and like other places doing stuff like that. But it's just like, fuck, man. Like, how much money goes into this fucking museum? I call it a museum rather than calling it a gallery, but like, how much money's going in there? Like billions, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We used to have a tech guy who would look this shit up. We would pretend to look this shit up for us. If I want to look up exactly how much they do, I have to exit this chat. But yeah, like so much money's going into it. Surely, like even like a kiddie corner, for us, just like give us like a little slab, a little bit of that territory. Yeah, something to kind of nibble on for a bit, because it is difficult out there. For artists, I commend anyone who's like ventured into the field, and like you are a successful artist. Like so many people know about you. Like your following is ginormous. Do you know what I mean? Like you're at that stage where you need, I guess like sometimes I kind of see that when I play shows and there's like 300 or 400 people and I go, wow, that's a really cool validation. Where's the money? Not even in like
I mean, music would be way harder.
Yeah.
Like,
the music industry's fucked. And I've gone on podcasts and on the behalf of myself, and I always have to tone down what I say. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to hear about the music industry sometime, we'll do it when the cameras are not recording. Some of the shit you find out is unbelievable. Stuff that I can't even talk about on this podcast because it will ruin friendships.
Now I'm really curious.
Yeah. Well, speaking about investors and stuff like that and how they kind of integrate themselves into local scenes, there's all sorts of stuff, like that you just wouldn't even understand. Like you wouldn't even think that these things could happen, but there's a reason that certain people kind of make it and certain people don't. And it does help to have somebody help you out.
And I think half of it is like, I think luck sometimes plays into becoming big in anything creative.
Yeah.
Because as we're saying, there's so many incredible artists that aren't really being recognized. But I think sometimes luck and being in the right place at the right time can play into it
Yeah.
hugely. Like,
That's
yeah.
yeah, that's true. That's the
Mm.
but that also like you need to have like a community for that sort of luck to kind of exist in, right? Like if I go to
Yeah.
Baker's Delight, like, you know, I'm not gonna get spotted or like I like, you know, unless the guy just happens to be there. But if that scene isn't thriving in that
Yeah.
area, I think that's why a lot of people are moving as well. I mean, a lot of people talk about
Hmm.
how good Melbourne is for creativity. I used to be one of
Hmm.
those people, but after a while you're like, fuck, like I really want something to happen. You know, like
Mm.
I feel
Yeah,
like
well,
our
I've heard,
generation's
yeah, Melbourne is like it's meant to be the best, isn't it, in Australia? Which I mean,
allegedly,
I
and for some
like.
people it
I think
is,
it.
you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm from Warrnambool, and there's not much going on there.
Where is
I'll tell you
Warrnambool
that.
on the map?
So it's like at the end of the Great Ocean Road. It's like, do you know Port Fairy?
Yeah, no.
Portland's kind of like down on the coast.
Like where
It's
the
like
12
3 hours
apostles
away.
are?
Kind of, sort of. Yeah.
Okay, that's good
But
enough
I
for us.
mean, I moved to Melbourne 2 years ago.
Oh,
And so,
really?
yeah, so moving from Warrnambool to here, like I think it's great here compared to where I'm from.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's always a bit of a battle to kind of like get yourself known in the creative world wherever you are. Yeah.
Yeah. And to get taken
Like,
seriously and to get treated the way you want to be treated as well as an
mm,
artist, that's the hardest part.
mm,
Do
yeah.
you find that like since you've moved here, are you connected to other artists in your field? Are you connected to
Um,
other ceramics artists? Is
so
there a community of that?
I have so I learnt ceramics in Warrnambool with an artist, Barry Tate.
Right.
And he kind of taught me all I know with ceramics. I'm quite close with him, and the artist I collaborated on, this guy, Liam Murphy, have a good relationship with him. But again, it's like a symptom of working in my bedroom. I haven't really got out and mingled as much as I would have liked with other
Yeah.
creatives in Melbourne yet. And so I think the goal next year will be finding a external studio where other people are working in
Yeah, yeah.
whatever
Networking
medium.
space, but for creatives.
Yeah, and just kind of just being amongst that energy, like
It
it's
goes a long
extremely
way.
isolating just working in your
Yeah.
room.
You can only do
Yeah.
so much by yourself. It really gets to you after
Yeah.
a while.
Yeah.
Um,
Like I would love to collaborate more. It's super fun to work with another artist.
yeah.
Like,
There's so many
um,
things you could do with your stuff as well. There's like even theater, like
mhm.
puppet theater companies that could bring your stuff to life
Yeah,
in
I
another
wanted to do some
medium.
claymation stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
claymation would be
that
awesome.
would be really cool.
For
Like
sure. And the
with
animation
specifically.
community here is incredible. Like we work
Yeah.
with like obviously some segments of this show are animated as well. Shout out to Gabby. She's awesome. But like
Yeah.
the other animators that we've worked with the band are incredible. Some of them are in Chicago, some of them are all over. But that's an example
Damn.
of a community where everyone's really tight knit. And the
Yeah,
animation
okay.
circle is really tight knit. They all like support each
Yeah.
other. They all fucking reshare each other's shit. It's awesome.
Yeah. Well, I would. That was one of the goals. Moving here was to do some claymation short films.
Cool.
But when I looked into how difficult it is, I was just
Yeah.
like, no, it's too hard. Yeah,
It's tough as well because you have your own vision, right? Like, you know, it's not even like music where
yeah,
like you have to dictate, I don't know, like all these different aspects of the process. Like you have your vision's there.
mm.
Your vision is the character. So if you were working with a claymation team and that they could be
Mm.
like, well, what does Ginklet get to display their character in this claymation? Do you know what I mean? Like there is an
Yeah.
element of like, I mean, everyone has that. There's not enough people sort of acting as secondary characters, not for their whole
Mm.
lives, but just to help process, just to help like people's art. You know, like you know,
Yeah.
I'd love to be a, I was gonna say NPC, but that's fucking ridiculous.
I'd love
I
to
would
be a
love to be
non-player character.
like you know, like in someone's band as a supporting player for a period of
Yeah.
time, because God knows I've had so many
Yeah.
people do that with me. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I guess yeah, I had a few other things to ask you.
Mhm.
I wanted to know what was the piece that, and there's probably a few of them, but do you remember the pieces that kind of took off the most on like Instagram, I'd say?
Um, It was probably, that is a good question. I think the slow build to having, I guess, the Instagram following was it was more of a slow build than a sudden kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was just like I used to make sure I posted a new piece every day, and I think just the consistency really helped slowly build it over time. I remember like probably 4 years ago there was a piece that got 1,000 likes, and I was like, "Whoa, that was huge!"
Do you remember
for the
what that
time.
piece was?
I'll try find it now.
Yeah.
Um,
You always remember. You always remember,
yeah,
like,
I do remember the exact piece. Yeah.
yeah. And I'd be interested to know, like, what it was
Oh
about
yeah,
that piece.
it was just this
Oh, that
goblin,
bad boy.
that bad boy.
Yeah. And what
People
was the
seem to
difference
really like.
between him and like previous iterations of that bad boy?
Nothing really. It's like it's the algorithm. Like I feel like there's no rhyme or reason half the time when
Really?
things take off more than the other. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
sometimes
don't know.
it feels like you tap into, like, today I did a post and it was just text and it was just a rant about the scene and it just blew the fuck up. And I was just
Yeah,
thinking, I was like, is this because I've tapped into like a zeitgeist of sort? It always seems like that, you know what I mean? But then
yeah,
there's other times, I guess especially with art, it's like with yours, like it's just like, yeah, I don't know. If you had like a similar guy to that beforehand, it's like, well, why did the algorithm decide at that point
yeah,
in time that
yeah. When you
that was
find
his
out, let me
favorite?
know because there is no rhyme or reason as far as I can tell. Like I've been, as I was saying, I've made the same stuff the whole time I've been doing the whole Ginklet thing, and um, it just randomly decides to push a post out more than the others, I think.
Is that something that you try,
Yeah.
I guess, at your level? Like, do you try not to really focus on that, like to not
Yeah,
get
I
competitive with
try not
likes?
to, yeah, if I get caught up in you know, trying to I remember when I first started getting people to see the work online and building a following felt really like almost like the goal instead of just making.
Yeah,
And
it feels
the
that
more I
way.
got tied up in wanting that, the less enjoyable it became. So again, like I was saying, it's bringing you, it's you reminding yourself why you're creating as an artist. It shouldn't
Yeah,
really be for anyone else. I think that's when creativity dies a little bit, when it's for
it really
following
does. Yeah.
likes,
That's what
other
happened to
people's
me as well.
opinions.
Like, no, I'm talking like I'm
Yeah.
like a washed up like child actor or something. In many ways, I am, but I feel like yeah, like I had a piece that went viral because it resonated with a lot of people. It was touching on a very popular theme.
Mm.
It's like a
Yeah.
basic human emotion. I still
Yeah.
had my style in it though, and I didn't make it with
Mm.
any sort of expectation. I was like, "Yep, this
Yeah.
is just
Yeah.
a
I mean,
this was a
it's
shit piece." Actually, I was like, "This is average," but I'm gonna put it out anyway. And then it just blew up. And then I tried to replicate that formula
exactly.
afterwards,
Yeah.
twice or three
And
times, and
it's
I'm
so
like,
easy. Like,
yeah,
it,
because the
it's
algorithm's
easy to
favoring
get
it.
kind of caught up, like when you are, I guess, living in the modern age where we're constantly posting things online that are being received by other people.
Hmm.
When you do, when something takes off like a post, it is kind of addicting. And I can see like how people like, I guess, innately tie that, like chasing that reaction all the time with their
Yeah,
art or
it's a
whatever
it's
it
it's
is.
definitely a high. Like it definitely is like an
Yeah.
addiction. You know what I mean? Like it feels really good to be
Yeah.
validated,
Yeah.
especially if you
Yeah.
haven't had a lot of that in a long time, and you're
Yeah.
like, wow, like I'm
And
now
it's,
part of the discussion. But the truth is, and this goes out to any of our listeners, once this becomes like a recording that you can listen to,
mm,
like you've always had it. You know what I mean? You've always had it. The only
mm.
difference was that you had less eyes and ears on it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's going back to reminding yourself why you make, and
Mm.
it shouldn't be for other people, I think. I think
Yeah.
that's when it's a slippery slope if you are creating and you're like, oh, I hope everyone likes this and it gets tons of likes online. Like there's a kind of shallowness to that
Yeah.
I think's a dangerous game to play, especially with creative stuff. Like I don't think anyone starts creating when they're a child for anyone else's reaction.
Can you
It's
imagine?
just because
Well,
it
I
brings
guess
you joy.
you know what though. It's funny that you said that. Creatives probably don't. But what about like the new type? I don't want to talk about the Rizzler and like brain rot culture and all that shit. But what about like young? I was gonna say prodigies, but they're not fucking prodigies. Mimi, you know, like
Hawk
young
to a girl.
kids. Yeah, I fucking yeah. That's I did listen to their podcast the other day and it was fucking garbage. I
I
want to give it a
refuse to.
chance because you know I'm all about that meme.
Yeah.
But yeah, like those. Well, she's like 20. She's our age,
Yeah.
but you know, there's like 12-year-olds and like 11-year-olds and stuff who rather than create or go draw, they're gonna go try to make a meme or I was gonna say a vine. That's fucking.
Fine.
That's
That's
Vines
old
are
school.
Old school.
Showing your
Vines
age.
were fucking funny though. I don't mean to
Yeah,
sound like
yeah.
a geezer, but that shit was hilarious. But yeah,
But I
like you
think
know,
it's the age we live in though, and I kind of hate the whole online thing, but at the same time, it's given me what I have now with art. I wouldn't be able to sell my stuff online if it wasn't for Instagram.
yeah,
But at the same time, I find the whole online thing very, I don't know, it's I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of like kids growing up with phones now. I feel
Yeah.
like connection is very vapid and like it's I don't know.
yeah.
Mm,
It translates to like how you actually treat people.
yeah.
That's the unfortunate part. If we had all this technology and whatever, and I mean, people treat each other like shit online all the time. Everyone does it.
Yeah.
And it's like, that would be cool if we knew how to, that we go, okay, well, that's the online world. We're not actually being
It's not
humans here.
totally
We're
real.
playing a character.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we can learn, if we could learn how to leave that at the door and leave that at the laptop, and then we go
Yeah, for
outside,
sure.
be human. But I think the
Yeah.
only way you can do that is if you knew how to be a human beforehand. So what if your entire
Yeah.
life was based off of your online persona? Then
And again, like
who the
kids
fuck
growing
are
up
you?
with phones, like
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's
like
scary.
they are growing up with that in sort of ingrained in them from such an early age.
Even
It's
as like young
scary.
adults, especially if you're an
Yeah.
artist and you're trying to make it as an artist, and you just, you know, I people call me my Instagram persona like Milkman and shit or Milky and shit. Like there is such a blurring of the fucking lines
Yeah.
of who you are.
Milky.
And yeah, like you know, well, it depends. I have lots
Yeah.
of different nicknames, and you never set your own nickname. That's the rule, right? Also, I guess kind of finishing up, but kind of going back to the start. How did you get your name?
So when I decided I wanted to make an Instagram just for my art, which felt very like I toyed with just that idea alone for months because again, it felt very egotistical for me to make a page just for my art. Like who's going to want to look at this sort of thing?
The classic.
But after I decided, yeah, I'm going to do it. I wanted the word for my art to essentially just be a made up word that didn't allude to anything else but my art.
Yeah.
And so I was trying to think of like what it could be. And my Reddit username was Ginklet. And
so
it
then
had
I
been for years.
rephrase my question. Where did the Reddit username Ginklet come from?
Well, when I remember I was like 18 and I wanted to ask a bit of a the question I wanted to ask. I mean, no one uses their real name on Ginklet in Reddit anyway.
Yeah.
But I just thought I got to make up something that's obviously not going to allude to me, and I just like randomly thought of the word Ginklet. Because the question I wanted to ask on there was a bit left of field. And
Right.
so when I made the art page, I was like, that's a made up word I've used for years. So
Yeah.
I'll apply it to my art. And then after I did, I quickly deleted all my questions on Reddit.
Yeah, start
Just
the
so, like,
you know, the
when people
virtual
search Ginklet.
footprint.
Yeah.
That's
But
so good
I
because it
kinda
alludes to it alludes to something like Ginklet. I guess
Yeah,
like
yeah.
You think piglet or some shit like that. Like that's what I
the
do. And I'm like,
word-
wait, and I think it's
Yeah,
like some sort of like alliteration or something. And I'm like, what's going on here? And you just never.
yeah, it's almost like it's one of those words that sounds like it should be real. And it's a word that somehow suits the style of the
It
art
does,
as well.
yeah.
I don't know how to explain that, but I've always felt that it does.
Maybe you were always
So-
destined to be Ginklet.
Maybe.
Like yeah,
But yeah, that's how I got it. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. I mean, and I guess even asking that, like, we don't really know how you got it.
No. Yeah.
You literally just
Nah,
said it just came to you. That was it.
I
So-
remember I'm like, all right, I want to ask like I'm not even going to say what the question
No,
was
yeah.
because I'm going to have like family that'll probably listen to this. But
Oh, shit.
I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
no,
all
don't
right,
do that.
make a Reddit account and just instantly typed Ginklet for the username. And I'm glad I did because now it's become like, yeah, the art
It's
name.
like it was a shield, right? When it started, it was some sort of protection. It was a buffer.
And now it's still kind of a shield.
And now,
I hide
yeah,
behind.
through the artworks and through these things.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well,
Yeah.
look, Zoom is going to kick us out again, probably. I don't know. I'm not keeping track of the time anymore.
Bastards.
But yeah, thank you for coming on. Is there anyone that you want to plug? Is there anything that you've got going on? This will come out in like early December. Is there anything coming up next year, that you want to talk about or discuss?
Pretty much just look out for my drops and buy a piece of art.
You
That'd be
heard
great.
them here first.
What's
Buy
your
that
Instagram?
shit.
Buy my shit.
What's your Instagram so people know?
As if they wouldn't fucking know. Like if we said
Ginklet.
at the link, like yeah, okay, yeah, yes. Please spell out Ginklet for us, please.
Ginklet. God, that would be embarrassing if I spelled that wrong just then.
Yeah. Cool. Well, yeah. Thank you, Molly, for spending
Thanks
an
for
hour
having
and a
me.
half with us.
Yeah, it was good.
This is the longest podcast, but we could have gone for a lot longer. But
Yeah,
our tech
it was really
team is
good.
telling us that we need to we need to wrap it up.
Pay some dollars if you keep talking to this bitch.
Yeah. No way. Well, yeah. Thank you, Molly. This has been Left Brain, Right Brain.
Yep.
And we'll see you later.
Cool. See you guys.
Gotcha.